Yo, what's up? Avon here. Today I'm going to bring you guys a new series. I'm going to do picks for every week, and I'm going to start week 4. I know I missed the last 3 weeks, but I just really want to predict these games, and I'm going to choose the best games for every week. This week we got 11 games to go through. Let me know if you guys like videos like this and if I should do more. We're going to talk about who's supposed to win, the spread, the FPI percentage, all that shit. So let's take a deep dive and let's get right into it. Alright, starting it off, we have Florida taking on Tennessee in Knoxville, and I have Tennessee win this game 38-27. As you guys can see, Tennessee is favored to win this game by 10.5. I do have them covering. The FBI says that they're at an 87% chance of winning this game, and honestly, I just believe Hendon Hooker and their offense is just way too good for Florida to keep up. Anthony Richardson, he's really not that good. He hasn't had a passing touchdown all year, and he's had plenty of interceptions, and I just don't think that they're a well-rounded team. Their defense is okay, their offense is okay, they're just not really good at anything, and Tennessee has a really good offense. Their defense is also okay. That's why I have Florida scoring 27 on them. But also with this game being at home, I just think Tennessee is the better team, and they're going to win it. Now, next, I have Texas A&M. They are hosting Arkansas, and Texas A&M is a 2.5 point favorite. They're also FPI chance of win is 58%, and I do have Texas A&M winning this game 21-17. This game was pretty hard to choose because both of these teams are very inconsistent with how they play. Arkansas has been very weird this year. They almost lost to an FCS school last week, which is why I think I dropped them a couple rankings. And then Texas A&M has a non-existent offense, and you just don't know what you're going to get. Arkansas has a way better offense than Texas A&M, but Texas A&M's defense is way better. So it's really just a toss-up. You have KJ Jefferson. He's the best quarterback out of all of them. Whoever starts at Texas A&M, he's going to be better than whoever it is. I also think Sanders is the better running back, or Saunders, my bad, than A-Chain is. And I think Hasselwood is the best wide receiver in this game as well. Even better than anyone that Texas A&M even has. Honestly, what I feel like this game is going to be, it's going to be like 14-14 at halftime. And then the second half, I believe Arkansas gets a field goal and Texas A&M scores 1 touchdown in the fourth quarter. And that's how they win this game. It's going to be by defense. I don't think Arkansas is going to be able to crack their defense. They're going to be fired up to beat a top 13 team in Arkansas. And I just don't think Arkansas is going to be able to pull it out in the end. All right, now next we're going to talk about Ohio State versus Wisconsin. I have Ohio State winning this game 38-21. Ohio State is a 17.5 point favorite. I do not have them covering that. I have them winning by 17, and they also have an 89% chance of winning. And even as anemic Wisconsin's offense is, I think Ryan Mertz has been playing a lot better at quarterback, and then Ohio State, they kind of have a couple of cornerback issues. So I do think like maybe the first possession of the game, Wisconsin's going to be able to get a touchdown, and then maybe another touchdown in the second quarter. But everyone also thinks Ohio State's going to score like 50 points in this game, and Wisconsin's defense is just not bad enough for Ohio State to do that. Not saying that Ohio State's offense isn't capable or they can't, but Wisconsin's defense is really good. So I do expect Ohio State to only put up like 38 points, and that being the final score. CJ Stroud probably throws like 3 or 4 touchdowns in this game, and then maybe Trevion or Ryan Williams has another touchdown added in there. And Braylon Allen has to have a big game on the ground. Ohio State has to be able to stop the run, and that's going to be the key to this game. Stopping the run, Wisconsin's run game, those are going to be the two clashing factors, because Wisconsin's strength is their offensive line and their run game, and Ohio State's strength and their defense is their defensive line. And next we got my first upset of this week. I have Wake Forest beating Clemson in Wake 34-31. Clemson's a 7 point favorite, but Wake Forest has the 79% chance to win this game according to FPI. And guys, it kind of makes sense. Look, Wake Forest doesn't have a defense, but they never have a defense, but their offense is really good. Clemson's defense is really good, as we know, but their offense cannot put up any points. But last year they were able to put up points against Wake Forest. I do think they're going to be able to get 31. Now, I believe Wake Forest wins if DJ Uiagalelei plays, but if Cade Klubnik plays, I do believe Clemson will win this game. But as it is, I think Wake Forest has this, especially with the home field advantage. I think they take this one. This is Clemson's first loss of the season. I think the Wake Forest coaching staff is going to have something ready for Clemson on offense and Sam Hartman to be able to dissect that defense. And I really don't think Clemson's going to be able to do that much on offense. Will Shipley might be able to run a lot, and DJ might have some good plays, some good passes, but I don't think it's going to be enough to win. After that, I got Maryland against Michigan. Michigan coming in as my 4th ranked team in the nation, and I have them winning this game 38-28. Now, everyone's going to kind of roast me for this because they're going to be like, oh, Michigan's been destroying everybody, blah, 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 blah. But they haven't played anybody. They played a bunch of crappy teams that haven't even had a win this year. And I do think their defense is going to be a little tested against this offense that Maryland has. That's why I have them putting up 28 points, and I'll have Michigan scoring 38. But regardless, I think J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corum, and Ronnie Bell are going to be able to win this game for Michigan and be able to kind of weather the storm that Talia Tagovailoa has coming their way. That, and I'm really curious on how their defense plays against an actual good offensive team that has some competence after losing Njabo, Hutchinson, Daxton Hill, and all those guys. After that game, I got Iowa State and Baylor. Iowa State's favored in this game by 2.5 points. Baylor is the FEI favorite at 53%, but I had Baylor winning 24-22. This is going to be a really defensive game. Both these teams are really good on defense. Their offenses are a little shaky. Hunter Deckers is okay for Iowa State. He has yet to really prove himself. But then on the other side, I think Chapin is a decent quarterback for Baylor. He can definitely throw the ball. It's just about getting the run game started and being able to protect the guy and then being able to move the ball. Because honestly, Baylor hasn't put up a lot of yards in any of the games, and Blake Chapin hasn't looked the best in any of these games, but the potential is there, especially from last season. But again, very defensive game. Baylor wins 24-22. They come in and take care of business and avoid the upset. All right, so I have Texas and Texas Tech next, and I'm going to say I got the scores mixed up. I have Texas winning this game 34-33, not Texas Tech winning 34-33, just to let you guys know. Texas does come in, though, as 6-point favorites, and Texas also has the 80% chance to win this game. Now, I think Texas Tech is very overrated, even though they're 3-0. Again, I don't think their defense is that good. Their offense is okay. Their quarterback is okay, but he makes a lot of mistakes, and I do foresee him making a lot of mistakes against Texas, and that's kind of why I think Texas is going to win this game. But regardless, I think it's going to be close. I don't think it would be close if Quinn Ewers was starting, but since Hudson Card is starting and he's still a little bit shaky, that's why I think it's close. And then it's at Texas Tech and it's undefeated and all that crap. They have history and whatever. I think Xavier Worthy's going to be able to get behind their defense a lot, and I honestly believe that Hudson Card might be able to throw 3 or 4 touchdowns in this game. Maybe Bijan Robinson runs for 1 or 2 instead. I think he's going to have a huge game. He might even have 200 yards against Texas Tech, even with that brand new offensive line that Texas has. But Texas defense, if they play like they've been playing, like against Alabama and UTSA, I think they're going to be able to handle their own. And ultimately, at the end of this game, I think that Texas scores a touchdown, goes for 2, and they win the game. Now, the next game I got is kind of interesting. I have Minnesota going to East Lansing and beating Michigan State. Obviously, I don't think Michigan State's that good. I think they're overrated. Their offense is awful. Their defense is okay, like usual. Minnesota, I think their offense is actually pretty good, and their defense is competent. And they got Ibrahim back. They brought back Tanner Morgan for his 6th season. And I think Minnesota is the team that's going to come out of the West. And I honestly believe they might win 9 games this year, 9 or 10, depending on if they can stay consistent or not. All the credit to PJ Fleck. He's done a great job in Minnesota. I could see them climbing after this game, jumping into the top 15, and that's just going to be great for them. Next, I got another interesting game that a lot of people have been talking about, and that's Kansas State and Oklahoma. I do have Oklahoma winning this game 40-27. Oklahoma's a 13-point favorite. I think they cover that flat on. 84% chance to win, and honestly I think it's going to be closer than most people think, even though Kansas State lost that last game and they did not look good at all, and Oklahoma destroyed Nebraska. I do believe Kansas State is going to come with a little fire lit, and they're going to keep it close in the beginning, but I think Oklahoma starts to pull away late 3rd quarter and 4th quarter, and then they just ultimately take over the game. Dylan Gabriel is just too good. Oklahoma's defense is just too good. Deuce Vaughn's great, and Adrian Martinez, we kind of know what he is. He always makes mistakes at the end of the game, but they really need Deuce Vaughn to carry the load if they even want to keep this game close and have a chance to win. I just don't think he's going to be able to do it the entire game, and that's why I think Oklahoma's going to win. Now, speaking of Oklahoma, the next game I got on here is USC, Oregon State. I do have USC winning this game 43-37, but Oregon State is a good team, guys. They have a really good head coach. Their offense is firing on all cylinders. Their defense is okay. It could be better. It's kind of the same with USC. Amazing offense, not that good defense. So it's going to be a high-scoring game. I would take the over, personally. And they do have USC as 6.5-point favorites. I do not think that they cover that. They do have them as 69% chance of winning. But again, this is a game that I think is going to be all the way close in the 4th quarter, and it's going to come down to maybe the last drive for Caleb Williams. He drives them down the field and they score a touchdown, they win the game. That's kind of how I feel it's going to pan out, because you got to think, how long is Oregon State going to be able to contain Caleb Williams, Jordan Addison, Travis Dye, and just all the weapons on offense that USC has? How long are they going to be able to do it? But nonetheless, USC takes this game, and I kind of want to harp on something. Can we just imagine how great a game this would be? USC versus Oklahoma right now. Imagine. It would have the most views, most anticipation, even more than Oklahoma, Texas right now. That game would be literally insane if they don't meet in the playoff. Say if they go undefeated and they meet in the playoff, they both will be in the playoff if they are undefeated. But I do expect both teams will lose a game or two. And then I think that they should put them in a bowl against each other, because that's going to get the most ratings and everyone's going to want to watch. I will watch that game. I'm pretty sure all you guys will watch that game. Anyone that's a college football fan will watch that game. So that really needs to happen. Alright, now these last couple games I kind of just threw in because they seemed like really interesting to me. And we got Notre Dame and North Carolina. Notre Dame is actually not a favorite in this game, but they do have a 54% chance of winning according to FBI. UNC has that 2-point favorite, but I honestly don't think that UNC is going to be able to win this game. I do think Notre Dame's going to win, and I believe they're going to be up by like 10 points when it comes to the fourth quarter. And I do think North Carolina comes back, and then they try to go for 2 for the win, and then they just don't get it. And Notre Dame squeaks away with another win. And the only reason I say this is because North Carolina just doesn't have a defense. Granted, Notre Dame doesn't have an offense, but I think anyone could score on North Carolina's defense. Then at least Notre Dame has a defense to be able to stop North Carolina. You guys see what I mean? So that's kind of why I think Notre Dame is going to get a little bit of a flow going. They have a backup quarterback right now, Drew Pine. You know, their starter, Tyler Buckner, is hurt. But even with Buckner, their offense is terrible. I think North Carolina's defense is more awful than Notre Dame's offense. I do want to give a shout out to North Carolina's quarterback, though, May and Mac Brown. Like, May is going to be a really good quarterback, especially for next year, and I think North Carolina's going to have a chance. They just need to improve on defense, that's all. And for my last game this week, we got Oregon and Washington State. Now, Oregon's favored by 7. They have a 72% chance of winning this game. I have them winning 44-31, so they're going to cover that spread. I think Oregon's offense is ridiculous. Bo Nix is going to have a good game. I do think Washington State's going to have a lot of momentum, and they're going to score a lot, especially in the beginning, because they're 3-0. They're playing at home. Oregon's ranked, and they're coming in. Just all that type of stuff. But I think Oregon's offense is just too good for Washington State, and I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with them. Those linebackers for Oregon are going to find a way to stop it. Their defensive line is going to play better, and I think Oregon's offense is just going to click. But yeah, those are my predictions, guys. I'm actually going to be keeping a record of the games I predict correctly or not, and I'm going to place that in every video, probably at the beginning or maybe even throughout the video, just to see what my record is at the end of the year, if I actually know what I'm talking about and whatnot. But thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure to check out my Patreon in the description. It really helps me a lot. And let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time. Peace.